And outside of Discord, I wanted to show you quickly what the Midjourney web app experience looks like. This is my favorite, to be honest. I love Discord. I love the community element, but I think when you're starting to like want to organize your work and really create a lot of content, which in my case, I generated over 50,000 images. So like I need to have like some order in the chaos to being able to make it work. I really love the Midjourney interface, and it's like evolving constantly. But then basically what you will find here is the capability to like write your prompt. So we're going to use a lot of that, but like basically you can take this and using the imagine function within Discord, and that's going to be exactly the same. But as you can see here, you have like the settings. So what I just like show you before, you have the capability here to decide if you want to use the standard or raw mode, the version of the model, stills meaning that your work will not be shared publicly, and then the speed. And here you have like a couple of like variation that can help as well when you're creating content. So stylization is like how strongly the Midjourney aesthetic is applied, weirdness, how crazy you want your content to be. Variety is like basically when you create the first grid of 4 images, like how much difference you will have within the different images. And then here you have the different ratio. Normally you use like a comment to being able to decide the ratio of the image. I will share a specific piece of content around that because the ratio of your image will have an impact on what you are creating. But here again, what is amazing is like you don't have to like use a -- AR and then like 4x5 or like whatever. You can decide if you want like, portrait, square, landscape, and then you can do like everything in between. I love their user interface. And so this is it. Here on the Create tab, you will have all the content you create. You have your prompt here. You have the different settings. If you want to like get through a bunch of like different images, you have this like little tab on the side, and then you have like the extra function that we show you after. But then basically this is like really cool to getting through like all the different content. You have access to like your archive. You can organize them in folder. It's very straightforward. You have a bunch of like different filters if you want to display only a certain model version or like certain content that you upscale. Very straightforward. And then here, this is actually a new feature, but they're starting to launch what they call rooms. Right now, they were like pre-built rooms. For example, if you get into like super users, you will see like what other people are creating in this group, but there is also the conversation on the side. This is exciting because they say that they're going to allow soon, creators to create their own rooms. So we're definitely going to create one for Masters of AI as soon as it's available. But then even if you're working on a specific project with a client or within your company, you're going to be able to create a dedicated section and using the stills mode. So not all your work is available and it's a private community. So that was just to give you like a quick overview of the platform. And then one last tab, but I will talk more about that in the next video, is the Explore tab. So usually, especially if you're getting started, the great things with the community with Midjourney, a lot of people share openly the prompt and what they're doing. When you want to learn, the goal is not necessarily to like copy and paste and just like rip off like other people work, but I think it's very helpful to like looking at different images and just like understand how the prompt are structured. So as you can see here, like this is like a pretty good photography, but then you understand like how they structure the prompt. They had a lot of like technical details around the type of like lens and exposure and all these different things. But that's like very interesting to just like get familiar with like how other people are doing. Because like sometimes there is stuff that can be valuable for you, or you can use like part of the setup, just understanding the difference between more like abstract content, photorealistic content is not always the most inspiring, but there is like always like interesting element to take a look at.